July 22nd, 2020 is Glioblastima Awareness Day. That's a title I would have read on Facebook or heard somewhere in the media. It might have piqued my interest for a moment as a human interest story, but it's certainly not a disease I would have remembered, much less a disease that I would have ever thought would change Kent's in my life forever. In July of 2018, while on vacation, Kent lost his ability to read. No matter how many times I put that in a Google search, nothing ever came up as a possibility. By the time we reached the end of August, it was evident something was not right. At first, we thought it was stress, but no matter what we did, it continued to get worse. In September of 2018, we had a furniture delivery at the house. Kent was pretty excited about it, so he arranged to be at home to receive the furniture. I got home shortly before it arrived. When they arrived, Kent was trying to tell me which door the delivery was coming through, but he could not communicate with me. His words were not making sense. It lasted less than a minute, but it was enough that we headed to the ER. From that ER, we were transferred to one hospital and then to another, only to hear that Kent had glioblastoma. Surgery was imminent. Glioblastoma defined as a highly invasive glioma in the brain. What's a glioma? It's a malignant tumor of the glial tissue of the nervous system. The news was devastating and scary, but we serve a great God. Our faith was not shaken. No matter the outcome, we were and remained confident that God was in control. But we continued for Kent's healing until the very end. He fought hard, trusting God and listening to the doctors. He was so grateful to be able to continue pastoring. He loved the people of his congregation and the community so much. He loved the fellow ministers he had built relationships with over the years. And he loved the community of Akron that God had called him to serve 18 years ago. He rejoiced in being able to share his faith with so many in the medical world, even sharing his faith during his first surgery, while being operated on. Yes, he was awake while they were removing the tumor, and he shared portions of Philippians with the surgical team. He loved to share Jesus with anyone and everyone. The year and a half that we had him went fast. The first 10 months were remarkable. We believed he was beating the odds. We saw so many miracles that year, those 10 months. But it was in August of 2019 that he had the MRI that showed the tumor had returned. By November of 2019, we really saw the side effects of the return. Kent dealt with anxiety, nausea, and fainting. We really didn't believe it was tumor-related, but in hindsight, it must have been. Kent had his second surgery the week of Thanksgiving. It was such a difficult road to recovery after the second surgery. We went to church by Christmas, but it was difficult for him. By January, he could function some on his own, but by February, we had hope again, and then COVID hit. We were all quarantined to home. I don't know why God chose this time to take Kent, but I'm glad we had the extra time with him. The quarantine slowed life down, and I was able to be at home quite a bit more. It was around the week of March 15th that the decline became evident. That week, Kent first began to lose his eyesight. We believed the tumor must have crossed from the right side of his brain to the left side. I have recently read that when the tumors continue to return, they come back more aggressively each time. So from there, we lost him very quickly. He lost his ability to care for himself, to walk, to eat. He even lost the ability to remember who we were. The last time we spoke was March 22nd. The last time he really communicated to me was one night when he and I were just sitting in the living room, and he sat rubbing my thumb. He used to do that when we would walk or, watch a movie or just sit together. And it was just his way of telling me that he loved me. This was something that was really special to me. So I knew he was worried about me, but I just told him I'd be okay. My faith was not shaken. I loved him, but I wanted him to be free of this tumor that was slowly taking his life. I wanted him to be in the presence of Jesus, the one he so loved. He tried so hard to speak to me before he passed. He would look at me and move his mouth, and his tongue would move, but he couldn't form words. We saw it happening, but we became so used to him coming back, getting better, so we kept hoping. We talked to the doctor on March 31st. Once the doctor saw him and saw how quickly things were progressing, The doctor and I both knew we were near the end of his life on earth. He passed from this life on April 10th, Good Friday. Easter was his favorite time of year. That moment, was in the presence of Jesus. I miss him so much. I don't even have words to describe the sorrow that I feel with him gone, but I am at peace to know he is with Jesus. He is even right now worshiping his King Jesus around the throne with so many others. The funeral was difficult as it was in the middle of COVID, but the Lord gave us strength and grace to plan and execute the drive-through visitation, the Facebook Live funeral service, and the graveside service. It was a beautiful time that I treasure. So many showed support with messages and drive-bys. Kent made a difference in my life and so many others. He was taken from us too soon, but I'm grateful to have known him and to have been his wife. So that's briefly our story of glioblastoma. I was not sure how I could do my part to make people aware of glioblastoma, but I wanted to do something, so this is my something. When you hear the word glioblastoma, be aware of how painful it is to live through, both for the patient, the family, and our friends. Outside of a miraculous healing from God, there is no cure, no preventative measures, nothing you can do to stop glioblastoma. Please share our story because just maybe the right person will hear someone's story and have the ability to make a difference. They say glioblastoma is rare, but it is estimated that 16,000 die each year from glioblastoma. I am on a widow's page for those that have a spouse that died from glioblastoma. Sometimes multiple widows join in a day, but there are always new widows each week. If this is so rare, why are there so many widows? Please help us. Make glioblastoma a commonly used word. Help us fund glioblastoma research. Make a donation to brain cancer research. It might make a difference in someone's life that you know.